Okay, so first thing is X-acto knife. We don't want certain people using X-acto knives without having the workshop on that, right? So that's why I'm doing this first. X-acto knives are very dangerous. You can see here they look like scalpels. They actually are scalpels. So, I mean, they're not, you can't use them in surgery or anything, but they're as sharp as a scalpel. So you want to make sure that you are using them correctly. And I've seen so many people over the years that don't know how to use them. So the first thing is, you don't just cut right on the table because you'll cut the table. You want to get something like this to go underneath what you're cutting. Is your hand up?
No.
Nope. Okay. So the first thing is, let's say that we want to cut out this little cupcake right here. Let's see if I can show you right here. See this little cupcake? Let's say we want to cut that out. So you're going to put this underneath so that you don't cut the table. This protects the table. And another thing is, they're very, 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 very pointy. You put the point down first like this, and you pull it towards you. Then you rotate the paper. And then I'm going to assume those of you that aren't watching, you already know how to use it. It's not a need to know for you. And then I'm going to cut this just so you can see what I'm doing. Oops, y'all tell me if it's not on the screen. So see how I have a nice smooth edge right here, and where I just tore it, it's not? So that's why X-acto knives are really nice for what we're about to do, our collage. So I'm pulling towards myself. See how nice that is right there? Okay? So that's the X-acto knife. Another need to know that y'all said was, what else can you put on collages other than pictures? Well, I made a list for you up there. There is cardboard, buttons, ribbon, baseball cards, playing cards, all kinds of things, anything that you want to bring from home. That's kind of why I'm telling you this today, so that you can think about it over the weekend and start bringing your items that you want to put on your cover. Let's see, what else? Let's see. Okay, so let's do the cards that y'all just filled out. Let's start with this one. Where did I put them? I just lost the cards. Why don't you just tell me what card did you have, Suraj? Okay, this was the resist one. So let me get some paper. We're going to do a resist with tape. So here's your paper. Resist is really simple. This is the tape could be the white crayon, or it could be the tape that we were just talking about. Okay, and then I've got my watercolors here. I've got my water. Forgot my brush. I know I was forgetting something. And I think you've already learned from experimentation that you need to put water on your paper. I mean on your watercolors, which I haven't done yet. Squeeze some water on there. Get this out of the way. Can y'all still see this if I'm standing up? Okay. So watch this. So when you paint, and y'all, it's your job to tell me if you can't see, because I can't keep looking behind you. Go zoom tight. And this is watercolor, if you're wondering. And then when that dries, you can pull the tape off, and it's a resist. The tape is what we call resist. It's resisting. I'm going to have to dry it just a little bit so you can see. It's resisting the paint. And the same thing happens with crayon. Oh, and the same thing happens with rubber cement. Isn't that cool? Look at that. I'm going to leave it halfway so you can see. You want to wait for the paint to dry. We also have rubber cement. Oh, it's right behind me. Rubber cement is the stuff that kind of smells funny. And it looks kind of gross when I do this. You'll see, you'll go, ew. See right here? So this is rubber cement. But the thing about rubber cement is you have to paint it the day before, and then you have to let it dry, then you paint over it, and then you rub off the rubber cement. Okay? And it looks really cool. That's another way to do a resist. What was another one? What was y'all's table? Y'all's was resist also.
The crayon.
And the crayon. And what was y'all's table?
Sponge.
Oh, the sponge. Okay. So how do you get textures with sponges? That was another one of y'all's little need-to-knows. So I've got a whole bunch of sponges right here. They'll be, I think they're going to be at station 6. They'll probably be at your table, probably. I think the sponges are going to be over there. So each one of these is going to be a station on Monday. That's why we're doing this. If you're curious, those of you that just came in. So with a sponge, you want to get it wet, and it'll work with tempera or watercolor. And those of you that are painting away, that's great. That's perfectly okay because you're listening too, I hope. And can y'all see this? I've got a little bit of paint on there. In fact, up on the need to know list, a lot of people were saying, how do you get textures? That was one of your big need to knows. It was the third one down over here. How to get different textures. So this is one way. Okay, very cool. Salt, right? Y'all are my favorite one. Okay, so let me show you my very, 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 very favorite one with watercolor is salt. So what you do, and this is also your table, Aiden, the wet on wet. So you just put clear water down. Y'all probably can't see that. There's clear water. Then you get paint. Now, the salt works best with dark colors. Watch this. This is cool, guys. Okay, this is wet onto wet. See how it bleeds? You don't see that? I can zoom in. Okay? It's really neat. Let me do it again because now I'm zoomed in, you can see. So you put clear water down. It's really bleeding now. And you go like this and you dab it. And then it bleeds. It's really cool. But their table said to add salt. So what you do is you get a little bit of salt. And it's hard to explain. What I'm doing is I'm going like this with my fingers back and forth. And I'm just sprinkling it. See, you can see it. But guess what? This is why I like it so much. If we sit here and wait until the end of class, which we are, we're going to wait till the end of class and come back to that. Just like what I said a while ago, it's going to have little white dots all on that paper. It's really cool. I don't know if I have any on this example. Here, let's see. I don't think I do, but this is all watercolor. All of this is like here's the salt right here. It's really hard to see, but y'all can look at this later. I think somebody, it's in the other class, Blake, he saw this and he thought it was really cool, but it was just me doodling. That's how I doodle. Next table. Ladies, what was yours? Wash? Was it wash?
Yeah.
A wash, okay. So a wash is really easy, fairly easy. What you do is you get your paint ready on your paint palette, which you can see here. And I think the thing that I've seen a lot of people do is they don't put enough water when they do a wash. And so I'm going to put a lot of water right here. Oh, I just found the cards. They were underneath my palette, y'all. I was like, I lost y'all's cards.
Wow.
I know. Hey, at least I found them. That would have driven me crazy all day. So watch with a wash, because a lot of you were asking how to shade with watercolor. And also another need to know at this table, they asked me several times, where's the white watercolor? And it just made me giggle because there's no white watercolor. You have to leave the paper white. That's the trick with watercolor. So let's say that we need this part at the bottom to be white. So I'm going to paint. And then as I go down, I'm going to dry off my brush a little bit. So I dried it off, and then watch, it's going to get lighter and lighter. This is how you fade the paint. You can barely see that, but I can see it on my paper. Let me make it a little darker so you can see. That's how you get it to fade. Y'all can see that, right? Okay. You can really see it over here, but the Elmo is not like the best in the world. Okay, so watercolor, 2 colors. We didn't do that. Okay, salt we did, sponge we did, resist we did. Resist we did. Blending 2 colors, we haven't done that. Finger paint, Sgraffito. Watercolor, oh my other favorite is, wow, I've got too many favorites. So here's another one. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here so we can still wait on that salt. Okay, I turned it around. The salt is right here. I'm going to put a little bit more because it's starting to absorb the salt. There, I had to put a little bit more salt on it because it all went away. Now you'll be able to see it. So saran wrap, guys, this is really, really cool. Okay, I already have a piece torn off here. So the saran wrap will be at Andrea's table because I'm going to be in control of the saran wrap and the alcohol. I can actually show you the alcohol one right now because it's cool. I'm like a little kid. I love teaching. I love this class. I love teaching art. This is like so fun to me.
Good.
I know, it's like so cool. Y'all know that I was here for 3 years and we didn't teach art, right?
Wow.
I was here with Mr. Allen and we just did like Photoshop and all that kind of stuff, which was fun too. But I'm like an art teacher. I love art, like hands-on art. So here's the alcohol. It's one of my faves. Salt, saran wrap, and alcohol, my favorites. Y'all ready for something cool? Okay, alcohol. Watch this. Let me get it going. Can you see that? Okay, it looks really cool. So the reason we're doing this is you might want to do this on your cover, for your cover. That's why we're doing all of this, if you're wondering. Isn't that cool? And when it dries, it looks even cooler. It looks really neat. Okay, now saran wrap is also equally cool. And I'm going to get a new piece of paper for that, because it's really cool. I'm going to have an example of it. When you do the saran wrap, I can't see my big class being quiet this long. Maybe I should just show them the video, huh? I know that's what they'll be doing, I know. Maybe I'll just show them the video, huh? Since I'm making a video right now. Let's see here, saran wrap. I did the alcohol. Okay, we're almost done, I promise. So here's my very favorite one, okay? Let's put this off to the side. I'm going to put a little bit more salt on there because it's still not doing its job. See, it's starting to do it, but not quite over here yet because I had too much. So the salt is something you have to keep putting a little bit more salt on. And before I forget, I used to be a credit card crazy person, and I had way too many credit cards. So I shredded all of them. And so I have a whole bunch of old credit cards that have been shredded. This answers kind of the question, what can you put on your cover? I mean, you can bring anything. Here's the buttons. You can bring buttons. You can bring anything that is flat, you know, flat enough to stick. And I have all kinds of glues and hot glue, all kinds of things that'll work. But that's what I'm going to use on mine. I'm going to do a cover too. I like to play too, y'all. Okay, so saran wrap, watch this. This is cool. They're all cool. First thing is, it's the same thing as Aiden's table where you want to put water down first. I can sit down for this one. Now that looks kind of purple to you guys probably. Okay, plain water down. And then you do the wet on wet, which is cool. So then we got some, let's do yellow just so we have something different. What's yellow and, I can't talk and do something. Yellow and blue, what's it gonna make? What are you doing?
Red.
No, good ball. Somebody said it.
Green.
Good. Let's see, it's not really, oh look right there, it turned kind of a blue-green. A dookie color? No, it's not dookie color. Now if I put purple there, it will. Okay, now watch. Here's a really cool thing. Remember, I'm in charge of saran wrap. I'll give you a piece of saran wrap, however big you need it. You might want to watch this, guys. This is a technique you probably want to know. So you put water down first, then you put the paint on there, then you lay the saran wrap down like this, and you squish it like this. And then you leave it and forget it until the end of class. So I'll do that. I'll put it down here and we'll look at it at the end of class. It's really cool. It looks really neat. Okay, so I think I'm forgetting two of them, right? I did alcohol. Where's my list here? Blend two colors. Okay, that's fairly easy. I'm going to step on this. How do you blend two colors? Okay. I guess I should do tempera paint. Let me show you tempera paint because I haven't done anything with tempera. So let's say that you want to use, heck, I don't know. What color do we want to blend with this one? Red?
Red.
Red? Hey, I have a better idea. I just thought of it after I asked you, sorry. Why don't we do white? Because what does white do to a color?
Make it whiter.
It does. Watch this. You're right. It'll make it lighter. Okay? So watch here. Look what happens. Because this is a lot of people want to know, how do you blend two colors? Well, this is how you do it. You want them to kiss. Right here. You want them to kiss. And then once they kiss, they're touching, you rinse out your brush. Okay? And then you get your paper towel. I don't know if everybody can see me. I go like this and then I wiggle the brush back and forth. I don't know why I do that, but it helps get all the paint out. To get this to blend right here, you want to get like a little bitty baby dot of water. Just like a little bitty baby dot of water. Not like, you don't want it to be too watery or it won't work. And then you just go like this, where the colors touch. Okay, now I've got too much on my brush. I'm going to take some of it off because it's too watery. I can see that it's a little too watery. And see, now it's really kind of messing up a little bit, but that's all right. if it's messing up, which it is, you would just get some more of this color and put it back over here. Okay, and then now right here in the middle, because sometimes I do things and I forget to tell you what I'm doing, I'm just barely touching the paper. Okay, that's how I got that to blend like that. Okay, so watercolor is a different story. When you want to blend watercolor, when you want, like I think what Tatiana's table was saying, when you blend watercolors, I'm having so much fun. I get to paint. This is so much fun. I'm so stupid. I know. I can't help myself. Okay, I guess I'm in a purple mood today. So let's say you wanted to blend purple. Okay, it's the same thing that I told you a while ago with the wash. So then you get a little bit of water and you fade it out. Okay, see how it faded? And then I can get another color. Let's do red just so we can make, one of my favorite colors is red violet. I'm going to put a little bit of red over here. This is called charging. I'm going to charge in a little bit of the red, or whatever the second color is, it doesn't matter. If it kind of bled, you could leave it like that, that looks kind of cool. Or you can use the technique that I just showed you over here, and just kind of very lightly, very lightly, and then I'm wiping off my brush, kind of blend it like that. The thing with watercolor is you have to not touch your paper very much or it'll rub a hole through it. Okay, which one am I forgetting? Did I do all of them? Let me check my little, oh, finger painting. I'll let y'all figure out how you want to do that.
Did you do sgraffito?
Yeah, I've got that in my hand. I'm saving that for last. Yeah, but thanks for reminding me. Sgraffito. Before I tell you that, I want to let you know that I've got a bunch of papers that look like this. Okay? Somebody donated them to me, and they're all right over there by the lamp. You can see them. Tons and tons of, what's it called? What's it called? When you make scrapbooks. Scrapbooking paper? Let me show you. So on Monday, if you want any of this, I've got a ton of it. Look. Like, this is really cool. I would want to use this for mine because that's neat. And you're the first class, so you're going to get first dibs on this kind of paper. I've got really nice paper for collage. I mean, this is for scrapbooking, like to make, you know what scrapbooking is, right? But somebody donated all of this stuff to, I've got a ton of it. So if you're wanting like a specialty paper, I've got a ton. Okay, last but not least is called frottage and sgraffito. And I don't have any crayons handy. Yes, I do. Where's Iron Man? Here's Iron Man. Iron Man holds my crayons. My little boy's crayons. Somebody have a quarter?
I do.
Can I borrow a quarter? First one to get it to me is the winner. Okay, so frottage, for it to work, you'll have to have like a thinner sheet of paper than what I'm using right now. So you'll need like copy paper. Anybody have a really cool design on the bottom of your shoe? Oh, I think you got it first.
No, she
And I
had
missed it.
I
I don't have my glasses on.
had a triangle.
Mine are like little diamonds.
Whoever wants to take their shoe off for me. Already got a quarter. Ah, she's fast. Okay, so this is called frottage. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you up here. Let's see if I can. Because you're my first class, I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Let's just see if you can see it on Elmo. So I took Mr. Crayon's papers off, so he's naked. I told that to my little boy yesterday. He laughed. He laughed for like 2 minutes. He thought that was funny. So I took the paper off of the crayon. I'm going to take Harris's quarter and stick under here. And then I've got my crayon. Let me make sure y'all can see it. You have to kind of feel where it is. And this is called a texture rubbing. Okay, so y'all can see that. Now her shoe is going to look even cooler. So with a shoe that has a really cool texture on it, okay, you have to hold the paper in place, and then you rub the crayon, whoops, and that's how you do a texture rubbing, or it's called frottage. And then it looks really cool if you go back over that. Then this is where we come over to this table again, and we do the frottage. Then we make it into a resist. The crayon is a resist. It doesn't have to be white, because you can see I didn't use white, I used purple. And then you paint, and it goes in between the crayon. It's kind of cool. Sgraffito is when you carve into the paper. So I'm going to have to use the thicker paper that I have over here. And let's go back and look at the salt and see if that did anything. You can see right here it did a little bit. Can you see? Yeah, it did a little bit right there. It's not like the best one I've ever seen. This alcohol turned out really nice. See right here, that turned out really good right there. So last one, sgraffito, is where you can like carve into, you can carve into, like right here, watch, you'll be able to see it right here. I'm going to use an X-acto knife. I can get it open. Okay. And we can actually carve. This is like my least favorite one because the sound it makes, it's like, ugh. You can carve textures into, yeah, see, it's not my favorite, but that's called sgraffito if you're interested in that. Another way to do sgraffito, I just remembered this, is you can do it when it's wet. Like up here where it's really wet, we can carve into that while it's wet. Oh my gosh, now I'm really tired. Any questions about any of that? Because that was a lot of stuff. But the reason I told you that is because each one of these that I just showed you are going to be on the tables, and you're going to have to know how to do them. Because I'm not going to be at each table. There's only one of me, right? Okay. Is it time to go already?
Yeah.
It probably is. Is it time to clean up?
46.
46? Okay. Oh, let's look at the saran wrap. Y'all want to? This is one of my favorite ones. Can y'all see? Should I put it on Elmo?
Yeah.
Okay. It really is better to wait, but it still will look good. Okay.
Whoa.
You can see it better here. So saran wrap is really cool. It gives you a really neat texture to it. I'll come around and show you. I'll come around and show you all of these, okay? I'll just come around and show you what I put down. So that's the alcohol, saran wrap. Salt is it usually turns out better than that.
We saw that. We dropped it. I already put it. Where's Mooney? Mooney. Huh?
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and start cleaning up, you can. I'm just going to show you.
Mooney turned it off. Oh, okay. It's an alarm.
No?
What you draw today? Brown and blue.
Very cool. Okay, guys, so let's pick one person to clean the brushes and the plates. And I hope this was videotaping. Please say this was videotaping. Yes, 20 minutes. That wasn't that long.